KAVIRA MUTOKA's sister-in-law was 8 months pregnant when she was shot dead. Armed men attacked their village. Doctors tried but failed to save her baby. So they're buried here alongside 7 neighbours killed the same evening. KAVIRA survived by hiding all night. And in the morning,
I could barely see what was in front of me. There were dead bodies everywhere. Some had their legs and hands cut off. Some people had to bury their loved ones without their hands.
That was in August. This is what's left. KAVIRA says that the attackers came from this direction. She ran off and hid in the bush down here. This was her home. She says they set it on fire. All that's left of it is the burnt frame of her sofa. She told us the attackers spoke languages from Congo and from neighbouring Uganda. It's one of a series of similar attacks on civilians around the eastern town of Beni in the past 3 years. Rights activists say more than 1,000 people have been killed, thousands more left their homes. The government blames a Ugandan armed group called the ADF. Its leaders wanted to govern Uganda and introduce political Islam. They failed and retreated here to eastern Congo in the 1990s. They haven't claimed responsibility for the attacks. The army's arrested dozens of suspects who've been tried at this military court in the town square. Prosecutors say they're the ADF fighters behind the killings. More than 30 have been convicted. But a US-based research group says it's more complicated, and ADF remnants and some Congolese soldiers were involved, something the army and the government deny. MBAFUMOJA, an activist in Beni, says he doesn't know who's responsible or why, but that it's not the ADF. He recorded details of the dead in KAVIRA's village and many others, and he's sceptical of the army's efforts to catch their killers.
All the arrests are there to end the killings. We want the international community to independently find out who's killing the population. Politicians keep blaming each other, but we are farmers. We don't want politics, we want peace.
Peace, the army says, depends on defeating the ADF. An army spokesman told us military operations are succeeding.
We know the enemies are the radicals of ADF. Guilt has to be proved in court. It's the court that will prove if a person is collaborating or not. On our side, we are focused on the leaders of ADF and what they are up to.
KAVIRA says her husband is among the men on trial. She says he's a victim, not a killer. The army told us his arrest is possibly a mistake which the court will resolve. She and her neighbours now live here in another village. They just want to be home and safe. Webb, Jazeera, Beni in the Democratic Republic of Congo.